Great news overnight as a big push behind the problem solvers to get their bill to the finish line is underway on social media because of this channel. More about that shortly. But the president, in a campaign rally, slams one person and says she's singularly responsible for you not getting your second stimulus package. Guess who? Nancy Pelosi. Meantime, banks and the Fed say that not enough stimulus is being offered into the float into the economy, and now is the time to get it done. This is amid major calls to get the stimulus package done in the next couple of weeks. We're close to the finish line, and we're almost there. And this is Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning. Hope you're good and safe. I'm glad that you join me. The toast is doing something. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the coffee's brewing. I'm here, you're llama, your dragon, your alpaca, your bunny rabbit, and now a guinea pig. It's the whole zoo is here. I appreciate your patronage on a great, exciting morning where we have a lot of great news. It's a great Saturday to wake up to, and Saturday is the day in which we all relax and we do much of nothing and we don't work. Certainly like a normal day at Nancy Pelosi's office. Oh, and by the way, go to the French channel and subscribe. I just forgot to mention that. I'm all obsessed with the bunny rabbit and the cows and everyone else watching me. They've subscribed, but have you subscribed? Well, you need to. Fastest growing community on the net, now at 271,000 subscribers. There's a reason why, because we're all here to help each other, get everything through, and get things done. So go to the French channel, subscribe, and hit that little alert button so you get an alert when a new video goes live. Also like this video, because this will be the best video you're having this morning that covers also alpacas and llamas. I mean, who else brings the whole family into the discussion? All right, let's get to the incredible great news. In this video, I'll be going over so much. I have a lot of details for you this morning. First, that remark by President Trump overnight about who's responsible for your stimulus debacle. Thank you, Captain Obvious. Second, the question about what's going on with the executive order. I mean, what's going on with this man with his executive order? Third, new economic data that really says, hey, we thought we were getting a stimulus package. What's going on? Wall Street banks are singularly saying, we were expecting a stimulus package and we were not expecting 2.4. Yeah. Next, a massive push behind the problem solvers because of the efforts of this channel, but we need to do two other things, and we need your help. That's coming up as well. Finally, what reflection and preparation for what's unfolding on Monday. And last, more information about how to get you money. I want to focus this video especially as well towards the tail end after the 10-minute mark about how to get you money. So stay with me for that. All right, let's get to the incredible details. Overnight, the president said the woman singularly responsible for the debacle, the second stimulus package, is Nancy Pelosi. He says the reason why you don't have stimulus is Nancy Pelosi. Yeah, I think we already knew that. Of course, she didn't have a comment. She was eating some $12 ice cream. On Monday, Nancy Pelosi will introduce a bill which we have already summarily rejected with the hashtag #RejectNancyPelosi. We even have an image ready for it. We're getting ahead of the news story by saying we don't support this bill, and ironically, no one else will. The point is that she's going to try to do a dog and pony show on Monday, introduce a bill that is too high, too much, and is exactly what she's been doing at the same price tag, same provisions that she's had since July, that everyone said, we don't want this. Guess what she's doing? She's now putting into writing. If you don't recall, she was always at $3.4 trillion, which was the even more outlandish than $12 ice cream. Now she's at $12 ice cream, which is $2.4 trillion, and is going to put it to paper. The same offer that she has offered since July that everyone has rejected. The good news is that we're focused on our agenda, not her agenda. And our agenda is getting behind the problem solvers. Overnight, minutes ago this morning, I launched a tweet thread that has 6 tweets in the thread. The reason why is because there's so many members of the problem solvers community. And I said, these are the problem solvers. I listed all their Twitter handles and a image of the image saying, let's get the problem solvers bill passed. those 6 tweets. You can go into those 6 tweets, take the Twitter handles of the problem solvers. These are people you support. These are people you want to be professional for, and vocalize your support. These are people who are actually sometimes in other of these caucuses we talk about on this channel, like like the Blue Dogs, like the New Democrat Coalition, and you need to say, I support you. Let's get this to an end. Let's get this voted on and finished next week. This is incredibly great news because rather than just tweeting the entire organizational's Twitter handle, we're now tweeting all the representatives. That's why it takes 6 tweets, because there's so many representatives in that group. 2 items of homework. If you're good with social media, can you go in and look at my tweets? I need someone to go in and take all the Twitter handles of the Blue Dogs and make it into a list. We need a list of the Blue Dogs Twitter handles, and DM me them on Twitter. Also, the New Democratic Coalition, which is more members than certainly the Blue Dog. It's about probably 80 to 100 Twitter handles. Can you take those and make them into a list, just the list of the Twitter handles, don't need their names, and then DM me those as well. We will start, and I could then send them out, and we as a group can start tweeting all these people. This would be a database of about 100 something people that we could vocalize our support to on a regular basis to say, hey, we support you, rather than just tweeting the organizational Twitter handle, which, it's like, the boss sees it, but none of the employees see it. This is so important because all these people are up for re-election. These are all House representatives. They're all up for re-election. They feel the pressure as much as anyone else. That's the first item of news. Second item of news is executive orders. I mean, what's going on? What is going on? People ask me on a daily basis, what's going on with it? What's going on with the president? Why has he not done this? I don't know. And you really got to step up the pressure. Unfortunately, all the Twitter handles of all his key people have, a couple 100,000 followers. Mnuchin and Meadows are probably the ones that would see your tweets more than anyone else. Tweeting the president, he's not going to see your tweet. But tweeting Mnuchin and Meadows appears to be the most likely pressure point. This second pressure point, because we talk about 3 pressure points on this channel, this one's to say, send out the executive orders. You have identified, let's talk about stimulus checks. You have the money for it. You've identified $300 billion. You have the legal authority to send it out. You don't have to repurpose the money. We've been hearing from you. You're going to send out the stimulus checks in June, July, August, September. We're almost October. Are you going to send them out, or is this just one of those, fake campaign promises? We're going to hold it to you, sir, because if you don't send out the stimulus checks, we're going to send you back to New York. It's as simple as that. Don't send out stimulus checks, sit around and blame someone else. We're going to send you home because you haven't done what you're supposed to do. This is a very simple task. Sending out the stimulus checks with $300 billion that's sitting around that you can send out is a very, very, very simple task. You can't do something so simple as that. You deserve to be gone. It's as simple as that. People ask me, what is he doing? I don't know what he's doing. And this is not even going to the second task, which is the $200 to $250 billion that's sitting around that he can repurpose for FPUC extension. Why is he not doing that by executive order? I don't know. Now, freely understand, and I want to preempt you because I know I'm going to see these tweets. He's going to announce today his Supreme Court nominee. It's going to be a big, splashy, behind curtain number 1, the showcase showdown on The Price is Right. It's going to be all that and more. So that's going to be his collective oxygen today. So he's not going to focus on giving us relief today. But tomorrow, that's an option. Monday, that's an option. Yesterday was an option. Get the friggin' thing done, sir. It's as simple as that. Let's just make it a promise to ourselves, perhaps. If he doesn't send out it doesn't do executive order in a couple of days, we're just going to collectively say we're not voting for you. I mean, it's getting to the point that, some of us were not going to vote for him anyway. But those of us who are undecided, or those of us who are aligned to his party, are just not going to vote for him if he doesn't do this. So it's now or never, sir. Third pressure point is the Temple of Doom and her followers, I want to go over some data, which is really sort of key and point about what's going on for the third pressure point. A new report released in the last 24 hours says that the Federal Reserve is having a real issue with what's going on with Congress. And the issue they're having is the lack of stimulus going into this economy. This is not good. This is not good news. This is very realistic news. The realistic news is that most economies around the world, since the pandemic has hit, has put in about 30% of their GDP, the gross national product, into their economy. What is GDP? It's a gauge of how large your economy is. And they've dedicated and have spent upwards of 30% of their economy on adding stimulus. So let's say your economy is $10. They put $3 in their economy with stimulus. That's around the world. 30% is generally the benchmark of what these countries have done. And these are countries that are, behind us, but are trying to catch up to us. How much have we put in? Less than 15%, not 50, 15, that's my accent, 15%. That's not going to cut it. When you're putting in too little stimulus, first of all, it does nothing. Second of all, your economy doesn't rebound. Third of all, you're in the same situation, which is we are now, a longer duration. 3 years from now will still be the same. 4 years will still be the same. And what will happen is other countries will catch up to us and pass us. Fed says you can't do this. Says you can't do this. Now, Wall Street, in a new report released this morning, Saturday morning, says that Wall Street did not expect what's happening to happen. Let's prove them otherwise. But the interesting report is that it pulled about 5 banks. And these are major banks in the United States. And they were expected to do analyst reports of where they think we would be as a country around the next couple of weeks. And they generally said they had expected the stimulus package to come in at 1.5 to 2 trillion. Who tells you that on a regular basis? 1.5 to 2 trillion, not 3.4, not 2.4, not 2.5, not come back until you see me later and I don't know what your name is. 1.5 to 2.2, 1.5 to 2. I almost added a point something over there. And they see that the inability for a certain group of people to not understand that number is making them very nervous. Major banks overnight lowered their forecasts for near-term economic growth. This is Yahoo News, expecting that expecting that this would be done by stimulus, but it hasn't happened. So what are the banks saying? Bank of America, first to take the official lower forecast, fourth quarter estimate. They had reduced it. They reduced it to 3% from 5%, based upon a September 11th note saying that they see there's a speed bump underway. Morgan Stanley, minutes then shortly a day later, said that they were expecting the stimulus package to come in at 1.5 to 2 trillion. Yeah, I did too. And that they are now reverting the spending growth and saying that we will not be rebounding as expected. Morgan Stanley is has cut the growth substantially. Goldman Sachs and J.P. Morgan are also pulling back. They have put in half their fourth quarter growth estimate to 3% as of this week. They have cut it to 2.5 from 3.5 due to the inability of someone to get something done. Still, as the report ends, still there's some hope, because Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin told the Senate Banking Committee that he and Nancy Pelosi continue to negotiate on additional aid, adding their stimulus is still needed. We want to get some stimulus out. We don't want to give up, and let's get it done. Well, as viewers asked me overnight and continue to ask me, can those two people get it done? I don't know. I'm not putting faith in them. What I'm putting faith in is you. Next, let's talk about money. I promised to talk about getting money. And this has always been the focus of the channel, getting you money, how to get it, where to get it, and how to get it. So what I'm going to do in this video right now is I'm going to talk about the different types of viewers and what type of money there may be out there for you. First, I'm going to talk about my viewers on SSDI, SSI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits. First, I want to talk about my viewers who are on disability. What other things are out there? You would look for grants in your local area for rent and for food. So you go on Google and go to Google News and look for your city plus grant plus the subject, whether it's food or rent. Do that also for your county. Next, people who are individuals who are W-2s have been laid off. Well, first of all, you should be on unemployment. Second of all, if you were impacted back in March, you should have your benefits back to March. If you didn't do that right, you need to fix it. Third, if you have the benefits back to March, you get the $600 a week from FPUC from March to July. It's a lot of money. Next, you would bring it up to the present LWA going forward, and we get 6 weeks of LWA if your state is one of those states that have the 6 weeks of LWA. Next, enhanced unemployment benefits. If you made over $30,000 last year, you qualify for enhanced unemployment benefits, which would raise your base level benefits per week from about depending on your state, every state's different, but about $120 or $140 a week, upwards of $300 to $400 a week. That's before you get to FPUC. Imagine how many weeks that is. Well, it's about a $200 difference. We're raising up about $200 to $300 difference a week. Let's take 200. 200 times 10 days, 10 weeks, 200 times 12 weeks. It's a lot of money, thousands and thousands of dollars. Go get it. If you want to know how to get it, watch the PUA video in the afternoons at LALATE, always at 4:30. Next, my PUA people. These are people who are independent contractors, sole practitioners, who are on unemployment benefits. You do the exact same thing that I just said for my UI viewers. Next, if you're one of those viewers who was unemployed and is now employed, but was unemployed before and have never applied for those unemployment benefits, you're entitled to unemployment benefits from when you were unemployed. The fact that you're employed now, you're not going to get benefits from when you are now. These weeks when you're employed, you don't get benefits, but the weeks that you're unemployed, you're entitled to benefits for that as well. Next, independent contractors, sole practitioners, solos, Uber and Lyft, Grubhub, Airbnb, all those type of business people, go get an EIDL loan. Go get an EIDL loan. What are you doing? Go get the EIDL loan. Also, my business owners who have a business that is a C Corp, an LLC, you may be the only employee. Your husband and you may be the only employee. It doesn't have to be a whole operation. It could just be a business registered as a business entity, as a separate apart from a Schedule C type person. Go get an EIDL loan. What are you doing? Go get an EIDL loan. I don't like loans. Go get an EIDL loan. The loan has no principal interest due for the first year. So you could instantly get money in your bank account in the next 3 days. You're having problems making rent. You're having problems paying utilities. You're having problems anything with your business. Go get the EIDL loan. SBA.gov. Get it and apply. It's based upon your 2019 earnings, cost of goods sold gross rev minus cost of goods sold divided by 2. That's the calculation. Have questions about how to do it? Go to the private's in the description of this video, the pinned comment to this video. Next, anyone who's on Social Security, who is retired, isn't really working, but is not disabled, what could you get? You're basically my CARES Act $150 million unused state and local story person. Remember that story where I talked about that there's $150 billion that's sitting out there that has not been used from CARES Act 1, that the cities and counties need to use it or lose it, and the deadline's coming up. Those cities and counties, whether it's Waco, Texas, just about a week ago that announced a rent grant aid, or South Florida that suddenly announced a food program for the elderly, there's always something out there, and they're always being announced on a daily basis. So what you need to do is go on Google, look for news stories, not search results, not websites, but news stories, Google News, and type in your city plus grant plus something like CARES Act, like CARES space CARES Act, or county plus grant plus. And what you'll see is news articles that says the city council approved a new grant program, and it's going into effective tomorrow, and you need to apply. That's what the news articles look like. The county approved a new grant program, and the grant program will be this, and it'll be called that, and you'll go here. That's what these articles look like. Can I look for them for you? No, I can't. I wish I could. It's every city and every county in the country now. I would grow very gray hair faster than any hair salon in San Francisco could fix it for me. So no, you need to do that research for you, and that has really worked a lot. So some of these things, a lot of you can get multiple things that I've referred to, and so you can get grants for food, grants for rent, grants for utilities. Grants just because you're elderly. There's actually grants out there just because you're elderly. And it doesn't say what you have to use the money for. It's just for you. Also, the president, I think it was yesterday, announced that $300, I guess you would call it assistance check. I don't want to call it stimulus. I guess assistance check that's coming for people who are on Medicare from medicine. That's coming. Additionally, there are grants for frontline workers. I haven't done that yet in this discussion. So people who are working, who have never been laid off, what are you entitled to? You're entitled to all those things I've just talked about. And again, these are based upon more what your 2019 earnings report, IRS return look like that, compared to what's going on now. Go and get these. These things are out there. If you get them, drop a comment or send me a DM or send me something, a tweet or something that says, I got this. Thank you. So I know it and I can repeat it to other people so they understand there's things out there. It's going to be a great morning. It's going to be a great afternoon. I'm glad you woke up with me. You can't sleep in forever, unless you're in Congress. We're going to get through this together. I appreciate your patience. Go to the Finance channel, subscribe, and then also like this video. This is a video that's going to really help you get to the new day. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay Valley for more.